Y'all used to be seeing me doing videos and lives earlier, but here we go, guys, man. I want y'all to follow my Instagram at code.manxx. Follow my Instagram, y'all, at code.manxx. All right, guys. So, first of all, you hit that like button, y'all hit that share button, y'all hit that subscribe button. Also, too, man, donate, don't hate, guys, all right? 7 signs God is preparing you to be a chosen one. You guys gotta understand, man, that when God is preparing you to be a chosen one, He's gonna clean up your mindset, right? He's gonna clean up your actions, right, through salvation. You know what I'm saying? You guys gotta understand that, the Bible, it states that, once you give your life to Christ, you know what I'm saying, you become a new creature, right? You have a new mind, right? You have a new heart. You have new actions. You have a new talk, a new walk. All right, guys. So we're finna get into it, man. Number one, this sign that God's preparing you to be a chosen one. You cut off toxic friends. Guys, this is a sign that God is preparing you to be a chosen one. When you cut off those toxic friends, man, you know what I'm saying? Because the Bible states verbatim, bad company corrupts good manners. When you start to realize, like, man, these friends right here that I thought, I thought that it was my friend. I thought they had a connection with God. Like, you're not going to deal with them anymore, right? You're going to deviate away from them because you know for a fact that they're not connected to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? They're going to pull you away from God, those toxic friends. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to take you out of your sovereign capacity. You know what I'm saying? They're going to pull you away from you. They're going to pull you away from the God that's within you. This is what happens when God's preparing you to be a chosen one. Those toxic friends, them smoking and drinking, doing all this crazy stuff. You're not going to want to hang around people that got a demon that's inside of them. You're not going to want to be hanging around people that don't have a connection with God. You don't want to be hanging around people that's carnal minded. You want to be hanging around people that's connected to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? That got God consciousness, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you tapping into God's consciousness. You want to hang around people that's a part of that 144,000. You know what I'm saying? Because you are part of that 144,000. You know what I'm saying? Because you mature spiritually, right? Not only financially, whatever the case is. You mature spiritually, not only earthly, but spiritually. All right, guys? But this is a sign that God's preparing you to be a chosen one. Number 2, guys, you find yourself alone. God, this is a sign that God's preparing you to be a chosen one. When you find yourself alone, and you start to realize, like, man, you know what I'm saying? All the people that I thought that was for me, they really ain't for me because, they never hit you up. Maybe you was hitting them up first a lot of times, and then that's when they wanted to hang out, right? But now you're not hitting nobody up. Now you're trying the spirit by the spirit just to see if it's of God, right? Just see if those people is a part of that 144,000, right? And you notice that those people that you used to hit up, right, that you used to be hanging around, they really not your friends because they never hit you up first. You know what I'm saying? When you're a part of that 144,000, your friends that's connected to the Most High, they'll hit you up sometimes out of nowhere, right? Just to check up on you or just to give you a little word from God, right? You know what I'm saying? Y'all will be quoting scriptures together or whatever the case is, right? You know what I'm saying? Y'all have a spiritual conversation with each other. You know what I'm saying? But this is a sign that God's preparing you to be a chosen one. When you find yourself to be alone, because in order for you to reach spiritual elevation that's connected to the Most High, you have to experience separation, right? And when you experience separation, you're going to experience salvation. Then after you experience salvation, you're going to experience spiritual elevation that's connected to the Most High. That's when you will truly find your purpose. So when you find yourself alone, guys, trust me, it's because God got a plan for your life. You know what I'm saying? He wants you to think it through, right? You know what I'm saying? He don't need distractions when he dealing with you, spiritually and mentally, right? You know what I'm saying? So you guys gotta understand that when you are alone, don't panic. You know what I'm saying? Only people that see the Bible states verbatim that God, he'll stick close to you than a brother, than a sister, than a mother, than a father, right? So when you're alone, you already know, like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I already know this is spiritual. God's trying to prepare me to do a great work for him, right? For the Spirit of God. God gonna prepare you to do a great work for God. So when you have that mindset, you know what I'm saying, you're not gonna be afraid to be alone. You're not gonna be feeling insecure because you know that God got a plan for your life. You know that God, he'll be with you, always, right? He said he'll never leave you nor forsake you. He'll be there with you even to the end of your time. You know what I'm saying? This is what the Bible states verbatim, right? So you guys gotta understand, man, that this is a sign that God's preparing you to be a chosen one. All right. Number 3, guys, you stop drinking and smoking. Guys, this is a sign that God's preparing you to be a chosen one. You stop drinking, you stop smoking. You know what I'm saying? Because you know for a fact that the Bible states verbatim, God can't dwell in an unclean place, right? And your body is the temple. You know, your body is a temple to heaven, right? So you guys gotta understand, man, when you drinking and smoking, you know, it creates that, my bad, y'all. It creates that psychological blockage. It creates that spiritual blockage that's connected to the Most High, because the smoking and drinking, it leaves you in a worldly mindset, right? You know, when you drinking, more careless mindset. When you smoking, you know, you trying to escape your problems, right? But once you connect to the Most High, you deal with your problems. You don't mind doing the shadow work, right? Because you know for a fact that it's gonna better you spiritually and mentally, psychologically. So you guys gotta understand that this is a sign that God's preparing you to be a chosen one. You know what I'm saying? Drinking and smoking, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit up and lie. On certain occasions, I drunk before, but I never actually got drunk. I mean, I drink, you know, I took a shot, right? But I never actually got drunk. But I don't even do that no more. You know what I'm saying? I never smoke because, like, I don't feel like smoke supposed to be in your lungs. You know what I'm saying? Only liquids and solids supposed to be a part of the. Excuse me. Only liquids and solids supposed to, you know, you supposed to intake within your body, not smoke. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to inhale smoke because it can damage your lungs long term, right? But you guys gotta understand that God, this is something that God's preparing you to be a chosen. When you stop drinking, when you start smoking, you realize, like, you know what, man, this is wrong. You know what I'm saying? God can't dwell, you know, in my mind when I got, you know, these spirits that's coming from these bottles that I'm drinking. Because alcohol, it comes with spirits because it says spirits on it. So you guys gotta understand that, man. You know, smoking, like I said, man, it damages you, right? It can damage your lungs long term, right? If you keep doing it for so long, right? And a lot of y'all probably have never got y'all lungs checked out. That, you know, the y'all ones that are carnal minded that been smoking for years, y'all probably never got y'all lungs checked out. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to see the results. But guys, it's something that God's preparing you to be a chosen one. All right, guys, when you stop drinking and smoking. Number 4, guys, you choose God's side. God, this is something that definitely God's preparing you to be a chosen one, right? When you choose God's side, you no longer giving place to the devil, right? You no longer subscribe to the kingdom of darkness. You subscribe to the kingdom of light, because you know for a fact that God's kingdom is the right kingdom. You know for a fact that the devil's kingdom, you know, is going to come with hardship, right? You're going to reap what you sow when you subscribe to the kingdom of darkness, all right, guys? But when you subscribe to the kingdom of light, God got to make sure his hedge is around you and he's protecting you. He's guiding you to all truth. All right, guys? So this is something that God's praying to be a chosen one. Number 5, guys, you let go of the past. God, this is something that God's praying you to be a chosen one. When you decide to let go of the past, you know what I'm saying? Now you have a forgiving heart, because you know for a fact that God, he forgives us, right? For our sins over 100 and sometimes a day. You know what I'm saying? He forgives us for our sins over 100 sometimes a day. You know what I'm saying? That's a merciful God. You know, that's a God that have mercy on us, right? And if God can't forgive us, then why we can't forgive our brother or our sister that we see on a day-to-day basis? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We can't say that we love God and we can't forgive nobody. You know, the Bible states that you're a liar and the truth is not in you, man, because you can't, you know, God forgives us. So we must forgive other people. But when you let go and let God, right, you let go of the past, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, when you hold on to the past, guys, it's like you drinking poison and you waiting on someone else to pass away. You know what I'm saying? That built up energy, all that negative energy, that's a demon that's inside of you. You know what I'm saying? That demon that's inside of you, that demonic spirit that's inside of you, it can damage your insides, right? It cause stress, cause heart attack, cause depression. You know, it can cause crazy thoughts. You thinking about deleting your own life. You know what I'm saying? It causes all these type of negative thoughts, these low vibrational thoughts in your head, guys. So, but this is a sign that God's praying you to be a chosen when you let go and let go of the past, man. Because God got a bright future for you. And you notice that. And you know that. You like, man, you know what? It ain't no point of holding grudges. You know what I'm saying? Because the past is the past. You can't do nothing about the past. You can only do something about your future. You know what I'm saying? By focusing on the right thing and by bettering yourself spiritually and mentally, right? And financially. So you guys understand, man, this is a sign that God's preparing you to Be a chosen one. Number 6, guys, you stop being jealous of others. Guys, this is something that God's preparing you to be a chosen one. You stop being jealous and envious of others. That's a carnal-minded mindset, because the carnal-minded man, the carnal-minded woman, you know, the average person, they're in competition with someone, right? They're trying to be like somebody else, or they're trying to imitate somebody else. They don't want to be themselves, right? You know what I'm saying? So by you not being jealous and envious of others, you know what I'm saying, it cancels out that demonic spirit, right? So, you know what I'm saying? So God can come into your life, right? So God can take over your mind. You know what I'm saying? So, but this is something that God's praying you to be a chosen one. You know what I'm saying? Like, envious and being envy and being jealous of people, that's just not a good spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, see, a lot of people, they are attached to the materialism of this third dimensional realm. You know what I'm saying? This is why you got to be careful, because you'll end up worshiping money. You end up worshiping, fame, and you'll end up worshiping all this carnal stuff that, God doesn't want you worshiping. You know what I'm saying? Because God states in the Bible verbatim, He doesn't want you to worship or put no other God before Him, because He's a jealous God. So you guys gotta understand, man, this time the God's praying you to be a chosen one, man. When you're not putting, materialism, before God. You know what I'm saying? You'll get rid of that spirit of jealousy and envy once you put God first, because He's gonna deteriorate that materialistic mindset that you used to have. Not saying that God's not going to prepare a table for you, or God's not going to run your cup over financially, but you're not going to worship the money. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to worship what God has given you, right? You know what I'm saying? You're going to still put God first. All right, guys? Number 7, guys. Another sign that God's preparing you to be a chosen one. You change your mindset for the better. God's sign that God's preparing you to be a chosen one. When you change your mindset for the better. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, a lot of people, they stuck in a certain mindset. They do a certain routine, and a lot of times it's low vibrational stuff. Drinking, smoking, being influenced by negative people, being influenced by drama, trying to be manipulators, trying to be drug dealers, trying to, if you're a woman, if women out here selling their body, trying to get other people to supply their narcissism. You know what I'm saying? Being a narcissist, propagating the toxic traits up under narcissism. That's a toxic mindset. That's not connected to the Most High. Trying to manipulate people, trying to deceive people. That's all up under the toxic traits up under narcissism. You know what I'm saying? But when you start to better your mind, right? You start to have a godly mindset, right? And you deviate away from that carnal mindset. You know what I'm saying? Because you know for a fact that's not pleasing to God. You know what I'm saying? God said He'll hold no good thing from us as long as we put in the work. You know what I'm saying? Because the Bible states verbatim, faith without works is dead. So you guys gotta understand, man, that this sign that God's preparing you to be a chosen one. When you better your mindset, man, you gotta want to elevate. God not gonna make you elevate. God not gonna make you subscribe to the kingdom of light. You know what I'm saying? God not gonna make you, choose Him, choose the Spirit of God. God not gonna make you choose the Spirit of God. Trying to tell you. So it's all up to you. You gotta want to change. You gotta want to grow. You gotta want to elevate. You know what I'm saying? You gotta want to change your mindset, right? You gotta want to change who you're hanging around. You gotta want to change the places that you go, right? Now I'm not saying that we be too heavily minded to the point to where we're no earthly good, right? Because we still living in a world, right? You know what I'm saying? But we have a spiritual mindset. You know what I'm saying?